My fellow mates, Blue Smart Mobility. You might have heard the name. An EV cab service which has recently crossed the valuation of 1000 crores. Attenborough, you might have seen their ads. They are disrupting Havells and Crompton's market share in the home appliance industry. Bellatrix Aerospace. If you follow the space sector, you must have heard about this game changer company too. These are just a few names. But do you know what's common behind all of them? You have already seen the thumbnail. Yes, Deepika Padukone. Deepika Padukone is an investor in all of these companies. Now there must be a thought what Deepika has to do with all these investments. She must be having a team who is looking into her finances. Well, that's true. In fact, she has established it formally with the name KA Enterprise. But despite her team, who mostly looks into the finances of the companies, it's ultimately her decision whether she wants her money to be in a particular company or not. And that makes sense, right? And that's why she followed this mantra with her business decisions.
From my perspective, it's really about having more skin in the game and moving away from the vanilla endorsements and just having a lot more involvement with the brand.
And these are not just words. She actively participates with the company for their growth. Like in this case with Epigamia, a food product and a beverage company where she is actively participating in creating a new product for the company.
Sid, what do you think? Chocolate with ghee. I know. Yeah. Okay.
I was hoping you'd say that, Deepika, but I was also hoping you wouldn't say that. So it's a mind-blowing combination. I'm super excited even to experiment with those two ingredients. It sounds great, Rohan and Deepika.
So basically, I think after Rohan and I and the team kind of, reached a consensus that this is what we wanted to do. We wanted to marry chocolate and ghee. I remember us briefing Chef about our vision.
But why am I making this video? The very core purpose is that she has a very natural and systematic way to take business decisions that we all can relate it very well. And we'll discuss about her process. But before that, let me give you a structure or mind map we'll be following in today's episode. Okay, let's start with a small sneak peek into her top 4 investments, namely Blue Smart Mobility, Attenborough, Bellatrix, and 82 East. Then we can analyze her 3-step approach to decide the best investments for her. And lastly, we'll summarize the learnings for the young entrepreneurs. So let's begin. Okay, let's dig into her top 4 investments. And we'll start with the crown of her portfolio, Blue Smart Mobility. Like I said before, this is an all-EV cab service. And you probably have taken their services if you're from Delhi NCR or Bangalore, because right now they are operating in only these 2 cities. And according to Business Line, Bollywood diva Deepika Padukone has invested in electric taxi startup Blue Smart as part of an angel round of $3 million through her family office KA Enterprise. But why I said this to be the crown of her investment? Because of the jaw-dropping business they are doing. According to Money Control, the company has crossed 400 crores in annual revenue run rate as of August 2023. Also, Blue Smart procures its EV cars from Tata Motors, and it aims to increase its EV car fleet to approximately 10,000 vehicles by March 2024, doubling its current count of 5,000 cars on its platform. So hitting 10,000 cabs in just 2 cities is not nothing. So kudos to Deepika who hit the jackpot with this investment. Now next on the list is Attenborough. I was wondering whether to keep this on the top because this is something, guys. It's one of the very few brands in the nation which has dared to go head to head with the top giants in the industry. They're basically an home appliance company. And I don't know how many of you have purchased their product, but in the year 2022, they sold approximately 41 million fans. And according to INC 42, total revenue of Attenborough, including other income, jumped 81.39% to INR 649.04 crores from INR 357.8 crores in FY 2022. Now the revenue is not only coming from the consumers. Their energy efficient fans are also evading the B2B sector. And one of their clients is Indian Railways. So next time, if you travel through the railways, just check if you can find their brand names on the fans. Their business expansion is so unique and inspiring that I have decided to make a separate video on this. But for now, kudos to Deepika's choice of investment with this company. And let's move on to the next company called Bellatrix. Many of you might not have heard about this company because it's a space company. Now this company is still at a very nascent stage, so it will be unreasonable to compare it by their revenues. But why I kept this into her top 4 investments is simply because of the immense potential Indian space industry have. It's impossible for me to explain the potential of Indian space industry in this small segment, So you can refer to my detailed video about the Indian space industry and Agnikul, who is the competitor of Bellatrix. But regardless to say, Deepika and her team have hit the bullseye with this investment. Which brings us to the next and the last investment of this segment, called 82 East. This is Deepika's personal self-care brand, and very ambitious indeed. It's catered to the world customers. It's just over a year for this company, and they are already reaching the mark of 100 crore revenue. You might have mixed feelings about their products, but the way this company is growing and marketed makes me include in her top 4 investments. Well, that brings us to the next part of the mind map, because all these investments made me curious. How is she so efficient with her choices? So I dig deeper and analyze 3 psychological steps she takes to choose the best business for her. Let's start with the first step, and I want to show you this clip. And listen to it very carefully, then we'll continue.
The way I invest is exactly the way I would choose, say, any of my film scripts. I think that's always been my process in anything in life that I do.
If you heard as well, quote unquote, I choose my investments like my scripts. And it's very true. If you see her Epigamia investment, which sells yogurt and desserts, it resonates with her script selection of Piku, where there is this feeling of touching people's heart. While if you see Atomberg, which is breaking existing monotony in home appliances, resonates with Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, where her characters breaks the monotony of her life to do something very exciting. The perspective here is very simple. She might not be an expert in business, but she is an expert in her field of cinema. She uses her existing expertise to analyze businesses as well. And that's a fantastic thing to learn, right? Everybody might not be an expert in business decisions, but every individual is expert and expertise in some aspect of their life. If one can utilize this expertise to take business decisions as well, it automatically makes it a much effective decision. Now that was the first step, to use existing expertise to analyze businesses. Now let's look into another clip for the second step. This is her perspective with starting her another brand, 82 East.
You call 82 East a self-care brand, and you've started with skincare. So why skincare?
Well, why skincare? I think for several reasons. I think there's the personal aspect, the authentic aspect. There's also the business aspect of things. To begin with, skincare was, is, and will always continue to be an extremely important part of my self-care ritual. Why self-care? Because when I experienced mental illness in 2014, self-care became my #1 priority.
If I rephrase it in one sentence, the brand solves the problem she faced. She could relate with the problem the brand is solving, and that's exactly the second step for her. Now this is very crucial step, and I'll explain you how. If you noticed, she considered her skincare as a part of self-care during her depression. And that's true to many individuals, right? Where skincare is not about solving some skin issues like acne or pigmentation, but as a part of self-care. And her brand caters to that customer segment. And that's why when you explore their website, you see it's branded as a modern Indian self-care brand. The way she is relating to the skincare completely changed the business model. The perspective here is, the better she relates with the problem the business is solving, the better she contributes for the growth of that business. And that's a great learning for the young entrepreneurs also, right? The profitability shouldn't be the only factor to start or venture into any business. The primary factor should be how well you can understand and relate to the problem business is solving. With that, let's move on to the next step with this clip, and then we'll summarize.
If you see the kind of companies that I've invested in, I think somewhere, eventually, I think that's my life's goal. Anything that I do in my life has to be purpose-driven and has to bring about some sort of positive impact. Otherwise, I would question why I'm doing it.
Now, this is again a very important step for her. Until now, we found she uses her past expertise and current problem as the factor to consider before investing. Now she takes one step ahead, where she analyzes if the vision of the company aligns with her future goals. The perspective here is, the current problem the company is solving might not be the vision of the company. This is where the role of founder becomes very important. So her third step boils down to understand the founder and the co-founder of the company so that her future goals align with the vision of the company. In an interview to Forbes magazine, when asked what are the criteria she looks before investing, she said, "It has to be an extension of who I am and what my beliefs are. I feel you have to believe in the founders and co-founders. You have to believe in their vision. You have to feel that connection. And what they are selling has to be an extension of who I am." So let me put all the gyan in summary. The best go-to business for her is the combination of her past expertise, current problems, and the future goals. And for the future entrepreneurs who feel stuck on deciding among the hundreds of business opportunities available right now. Yes, look at the financing part, the profitability of the business. But apart from that, if you take Deepika's approach, check if you can use your past expertise to solve the current problem. And at the same time, do you really relate with the problem the business is solving and the vision of the co-founder? And that's it from my side. If you like our content and believe in the future of this channel, stay tuned subscribing to the channel, because apparently we are a new channel and YouTube might not recommend our next video to you again. Hope to see you again.